imagination is not there, you become an animal.
True.
I want to define humanity as a capability of imagination.
How can we maintain a fine balance between ambition and maintaining the inner peace and happiness?
Any success which is deprived of joy, inner peace, is no success at all.
How can we develop the habit of at least being patient and enjoy the process in a practical way? At least few things for the youngsters.
I suggest only three things. At least half an hour of exercise is mandatory for everybody. Meditation is mandatory. Breathing exercises like pranayama are mandatory for everybody. If all these three things are not made part of our life and living, the humanity cannot be saved.
Hi everyone, I'm Rocky Bhatia. I'm having 15 years of experience. Currently, I'm working as a software architect in Adobe. I love to share my knowledge on social media. Today is a momentous day for me. It's a memorable moment for me. Today, I'm going to interact with one of the divine personality, Sadhguru Sakshi Shree ji se. And today, first of all, I'm blessed and I'm feeling very fortunate that I'm getting this golden chance. And I would like to, first of all, from the bottom of my heart, I would like to pass on my gratitude. The kind of deep knowledge that you are passing through this podcast is helping the community. It's an honor for me.
Welcome, Rocky. Thank you so much.
So, in this
And
podcast,
Rocky, I would like to tell you, it would be better you simply address me as Sakshi Shri. No need of using G.
no, I'll be using Guruji.
Guruji or Sakshi Shri, both will work. Let us throw away G.
So, Guruji, since I'm from tech background,
Yeah.
so I'll be sharing, few problems that we face in our day-to-day life or other tech people face, and we would like to get your insight in all those areas.
Wonderful. I would love.
Okay, so first of all, let's start with in the tech world, what we have seen is that we often face a constant strive for success and growth. How can we maintain a fine balance between ambition and maintaining the inner peace and happiness?
Quite good, Rocky. In fact, ambition simply means that you are going to achieve something at any cost by hook or crook. Ambition simply means that you have put everything of yours at stake for reaching somewhere. There is nothing wrong with it. You can go to achieve any heights in your life and career. But the fundamental problem with ambition is this, that people set their goals on achieving something and dying for that without knowing it well that whether they are meant for that goal or not, whether their intrinsic nature, their intrinsic qualities, their intrinsic being is set to move in that direction or not. And simply out of other considerations, for money or considerations of power or for considerations of prestige, this consideration or that consideration, if that happens to be the motive of reaching the point of ambition, then what happens? Your whole journey of reaching your target becomes very strenuous, full of turmoil, toil, and trouble. What is needed? Whatever you are pursuing, it should be your joy, it should be your love, and it should come from within your being. And in that situation, what you are doing it with total involvement. Then, in the process of doing that particular specific work, you will never feel that you are suffering this or suffering that. All sufferings will become a joy for you. What is happening in today's technological world, that people set their goals in this direction or in that direction without knowing well that it is not towards the fulfillment of their inner joy, but it is simply fulfilling their one need, that of either achieving great amounts of money or some power or some prestige or this gain or that gain. So, at one point, you will have to make it clear whether what you are pursuing is your passion, your inner joy, and it is coming from the depth of your being or not. Once you decide it, the same work, the same activity becomes a joy for you, otherwise, it becomes trouble for you.
Okay, so Guruji, what you're saying is, first of all, we should try to find happiness in whatever we do. We should try to enjoy the work we do, and then we would have that passion. But is it really possible to achieve success without compromising on inner peace and happiness?
You see, if you achieve success without inner peace, without inner joy, then it is like saying that if you are being offered heaven and you are being deprived of your hand and heart, will you like to go to heaven? What does success mean? Is it mean simply reaching somewhere, or it also means reaching somewhere joyfully, reaching somewhere that adds to your inner fulfillment? If it simply means reaching somewhere, and it does not mean that while reaching there you are receiving inner fulfillment, you are receiving joy, you are receiving peace. Any success which is deprived of joy, any success which is deprived of inner peace is no success at all. It is wrong definition of success. It is wrong understanding of success. It does not mean success. It means utter failure.
So when someone starts their journey, like a person having 10 years or 15-year experience, then he might get that kind of deep thought in terms of that which path he has to follow for success or happiness. But if someone is like starting the journey for them, I think he hasn't seen that kind of life. How he can make a balance that okay, I don't have to run after the success. I also make sure that whatever the journey I am doing or whatever the path I'm following, at the end of the day, what really matters is that I should be happy. I should have that kind of satisfaction that I'm having a good sleep.
Quite right. If somebody is beginning his life, his activity of career, no doubt he will start with total enthusiasm. He will put in all his energy and strength into it. But the question arises that if he faces problems and if he is not reaching there where he wants, if he finds that the journey has become troublesome and obstacles are there, in that situation, one starts feeling down, one starts feeling like whether I should go ahead or I should not go ahead. So these conflicts come into mind and heart.
Okay.
And in such situation, one feels so much afraid of the result. Whether when I am putting everything into it, and if I do not succeed. So that is the fundamental trouble that starts affecting the beginners at the very initial level. And that is why I suggest them that Lord Krishna had given a very powerful advice. And he simply said, action alone is thy concern, not its consequences. If whatever you are pursuing, if you are pursuing with absolute involvement, then two things will happen. The journey will not become troublesome, even if
Exactly.
troubles are there. Secondly, all your energy will be involved into it. Therefore, the result of the action is bound to come despite the fact that you are not focused on the consequences.
So very rightly said. So whatever the work, so advice for youngster is whatever the work you do, put your heart and brain fully into that,
Yeah.
and then give your best and leave rest to the God.
Yes, very true, very true. You put your heart and hand into it. The rest is the work of the universe. The universe has got infinite intelligence. It puts everything into motion, and there are certain fundamental laws. If you really put your hand and heart into something, the result is bound to come. The only thing is your focus should be on the task itself.
So, Guruji, in this corporate world, we see cutthroat competition.
Yeah.
Like everybody's striving hard for the success. So, what we do is how we can imbibe such positive qualities of collaboration and compassion rather than having some negative energy in terms of rivalry or conflict for someone else. How we can imbibe such qualities where we could see that by showing compassion or collaboration, we could be at the we could achieve a great success in long run.
That's a very fundamental question of the technological world, that people are pursuing their targets like machines. They seem as if they have no heart. They have only head to push on, to continue pushing on. What happens as regards spirituality? Spirituality is absolutely never in conflict with technological advancement and technological endeavors in any way. What spirituality means? Spirituality simply means that you have an instinct and urge to explore yourself. You have an instinct to know your own being. You are pursuing a path of inner joy. Spirituality means that you are cultivating love and compassion within yourself. It is something, spirituality is something which is to set the instrument which you are in right proportions. You are trying to fix yourself first.
Correct.
After fixing yourself in right proportions, in right direction, whatever you do, whether it is the technological activity, it is whether it is activity in the field of technology, or it is an activity in the field of politics, or it is an activity in the field of other kind of business, whatever task you are going to do, what is your first responsibility? Your first responsibility is to sharpen the tool with which you have to work. In the world of technology, you are putting your mind to use. And it is through the mind that you are pursuing all your technological activities, its advancements, its development, and its growth in many dimensions. Now the question arises whether the tool of the mind which you are using, whether you know the art of using it properly or not. If you can use your mind like an instrument, then it is a powerful tool for your technological achievements, for fulfilling your technological advancement and targets. But if you do not know the right utilization of your mind, then applying that tool of mind in a specific way which is not going to work because you don't know the right application of the mind, then two things will happen. You will start suffering your mind itself, and at the same time, your achievements in the technological world will also become impossible. And that is what is happening with majority of the technological personnel in the whole world today. They should first be taught the right application of the mind. Mind is a tool, a wonderful gadget. It can create wonderful results for you, but you should know how to use it. Suppose you have been given a powerful AK-47 into your hands, and it has started firing, and you don't know how to stop it, and you are holding it with all your energy and strength. You are trying to manage it. It has started firing, and you don't know how to stop it. What will happen? It will prove disastrous for you, though it is a powerful tool in your hand. That is what is happening in the technological world. They all are using their brains, their minds, and they don't know how to put it to rest. They are firing is 24 into 7. They cannot put it to rest because they do not know the art and science of putting it to rest. The whole technological world must first be taught the right application of the immense powers of the minds. They should learn to switch it off when not needed, and they should learn to use it when it is needed. And this is what spirituality teaches. This is what spiritual practices ultimately offer you. That is why I always say that spirituality is a powerful practice which will enhance the performance of the technological personnel, the scientists, and all those who are engaged in developing and utilizing technology in different ways.
So rightly said, Guruji. So you said it's all about mind, right? And mind is a very powerful thing. If we can't control mind,
Yeah,
then we don't stand anywhere. The
yeah,
same metal could be used for creating utensils. The same metal could be used for creating a weapons.
very true.
Now, you said that first of all, we should try to channelize our mind, and mind could be channelized through spiritual only. But let's say if someone for youngster they are not following the rigorous spiritual path, what are the few like basic things that they could do so that they could have that kind of balance by not like doing something extreme or
Very true. Very practical dimension you have taken. And no doubt all the youngsters should at least understand. No doubt they get busy with their career and different aspects, different dimensions in which they have to work and go ahead. And they forget to take care of this wonderful tool, this wonderful gadget that this body, mind, and emotions which the universe has given them. What they should do first, they should take care of this body, this mind. They should learn that they have to start from here. If you have to start on a journey with your car, what will you do? You will first take care of the tires, you will take care of the steering, you will take care of the fuel, whether everything is okay or not. But if you find that the car is not in working order, you will not start the journey. And if you start the journey, what will happen? Some breakdown is bound to happen very soon. That is what happens. Everybody on this planet is first advised to become capable of taking care of his body, his mind, and his soul. And for that, I suggest only three things. First, at least half an hour of exercise is mandatory for everybody, which nobody is interested. At least half an hour of meditation is mandatory. And at least half an hour of breathing exercises like pranayama are mandatory for everybody. So if you if these three things are introduced in the technological world as mandatory part of their life and living, they will be able to take care of this wonderful gadget, the body, this wonderful gadget, the mind. And once your body and mind are in right order, and when your body, mind, and emotions are working harmoniously, then whatever you do, that will become a joy, and that will take you to heights of achievements. And all these problems which you are talking about, they will die down on their own.
So it's a great advice, Guruji. That 3 points that at least every youngster could try.
Yeah.
Do some physical exercise, try some breathing exercise, and
And
give
then meditation.
meditation. So all aspects of the body.
This physical exercise will take care of the body. This pranayam will take care of the mind and vital energy. And this meditation will take care of the mind and take you to the experience of your inner being, what we call soul. Once you start getting connected to your inner being, that is the immense reservoir of energy. You see, whatever energy we use, at the end of the day, we find that it has all depleted and we feel extremely exhausted and tired. But by connecting yourself to your own inner being through meditation, you connect to the reservoir of energy, which is the source of energy, not only of your own, but the source of this whole universe. You get connected to the energy of this whole universe.
Very true.
Yeah.
So, Guruji, what we have seen in this especially data-driven world, where whatever the decision that we take with the help of some facts and data, how this consciousness or instincts is going to play any role when we know that logically we take everything decision logically by using some numbers or facts. So what is the role this our emotions or our few instincts takes when we have to decide something which can help in our long run?
Okay, you see, data and algorithms are the things which, as a scientist or as a technology expert, you are using. And it is only data and algorithm which the artificial intelligence is also using, perhaps. Is it so?
Yes.
So, if you are using only data and algorithms and reaching conclusions, it means you are doing nothing more than the artificial intelligence. But you are something more. You are the source of real intelligence, whereas it is only the artificial intelligence which is based on data and algorithm. So, that is what the whole modern world is forgetting. That real intelligence is the source of all intelligence, and that is the source of this artificial intelligence also. So, we have not to ignore the source of the real intelligence, the true intelligence that can come out of you only. It was your intelligence only that created this artificial intelligence, which is based on data analysis and algorithms. So, what I mean to say, you have to take into account this basic truth that you have to do something for the growth of your own intelligence. And you see, it is only growth of your own intelligence which can control the different dimensions, the different growing dimensions of the artificial intelligence. At least humans have to learn the art of growing their own intelligence. And you see, once you learn the art of connecting yourself to the source of your being, immense intelligence is released from within you. And only through that intelligence, you will be able to take artificial intelligence to newer and newer dimensions. artificial intelligence is only a tool in your hands. The more and more you grow your own intelligence and you manage to ensure unleashing of immense intelligence from within you, the more and more wonders you will create in the world of technology through artificial intelligence. That is what I have to say.
So internal knowledge and the true source of energy that you're talking about, which connects to the God, that will only come through the spirituality. That will come when once we will concentrate, go deep, and we follow some practices. Only then someone can follow it.
First, I will ask you, forget the word God.
Okay.
Once you associate anything with the word God, so much of confusion starts arising in people's minds. Because it is a word of science and technology. What I have tried to understand about my own being is the simple truth that it is your life, the world, and the whole universe is only an interplay of energies. And there is only one energy which is pervading all over the universe. And the same energy is making you active inside yourself. So, this is the only energy which has been called as God. It is the same energy. You can speak it as universe, you can speak it as existence, you can speak it as life. So, there is a specific science to become able to utilize this vast energy of the universe. And spirituality is simply that science which empowers you and gives you the technology to use your energies and energies of the cosmic world to enrich yourself in the mundane world also.
So, Guruji, what I've seen is that technology was there. The technology was meant to serve us.
Yeah.
But what I feel with the passage of time, we have become the slave of the technology. How we can maintain a fine balance where we could leverage the technology, but we shouldn't be very dependent that our life things like we are not able to think beyond the technology, or we don't have time from ourselves.
A very beautiful question, Rocky. I remember the words of Lord Buddha. He used to say that man has been suffering his mind, and the whole world has been suffering his mind, and mind has become the real cause of misery. Mind has become the real cause of misery. And it is not that you are suffering science and technology. It is not that you have become slave of science and technology. Man has become slave of his mind. And because he man has become slave of his mind, mind has been creating all round troubles for him. That is why those who realized themselves, they had been announcing this truth to the whole world, that being in a state of no mind is the state of experiencing the infinite energy of this existence. Once you manage to become in a state of no mind, then you become connected to the infinite energy of this existence. One thing. Secondly, if you want to save yourself from the troubles and turmoils that mind has been creating for humanity, you will have to learn the art of managing the mind. And there has been no other device to manage the mind except developing the capacity of witnessing your mind. And this capacity of witnessing your mind is the capacity of your consciousness. And this capacity can give you such tremendous experiences that once you get a taste of them, you will feel that you have received the greatest treasures of this world. So, learning the art of witnessing by practicing meditation in some form or the other is the most powerful tool that can save humanity from the disasters of this mind, and in the process disasters which are created by being enslaved by the science and technology.
Beautifully explained, Guruji. So what you're saying is we are not only slave to the technology, we are slave to so many things.
Yeah.
The only solution is that first of all we should learn to control mind,
Yeah.
and through meditation we could control the mind. And you talked about nirvana state, when I would say that normal state where you are in that situation, your mind is blank. Especially in this world when we are, talking about social media, so many notification, it seems impossible that how can you blank your mind. I know I'm talking to a divine power who has been practicing for a long time,
Yeah.
but folks like me, like who are in this and they don't have that deep this thing. What are the few things that we at least try in our life?
Yeah. Very meaningful question. No doubt, being in a state of no mind may look like something great, may look like something making efforts for nirvana. But telling you very honestly, there is absolutely nothing so difficult in experiencing spirituality practically in day-to-day life. It is simply because we do not make any efforts towards it. When I was a child, I felt enchanted if somebody was cycling, and I felt that he is doing such a great miracle, which seemed quite difficult, quite impossible for me. But somehow or other, when I started handling the bike, I managed it. And I thought, what a great nonsense. I was missing this great thing out of fear, and out of the fear that it would not be possible for me. Likewise, people do not try to practice meditation even for 10 days. And even before practicing, they dismiss the idea of practicing meditation simply because it is very difficult and something impossible for them. Lord Krishna used to say one thing when Arjun said, "You have already explained this yoga of knowledge, yoga of action, and yoga of devotion. But, oh Lord, it is very difficult for me to be able to practice any of these. Then what should I do?" He said only one thing 3 times: practice, practice, practice. Abhyasena tu kaunteya.
Very right. Totally relatable. Even I could say that, when we were learning driving, it was
Yeah.
very difficult that,
Yeah.
legs and hand. Now we are able to, on one side, we are able to see the phone and everything, and everything
Yeah.
is moving
Yeah.
automatically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's all about practice. But
Yeah.
it's just, yes, we lack in practice.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
moment we start practicing, then things will
Become
become
very
easy.
easy.
So, Guruji, what I've also seen that, especially in the era of digital where Instagrams are there, reels are there, we have lost patience, right? We want to we want to achieve result quickly. We want to taste something very quickly.
Everything
How?
instant is.
Yes. So how can we develop the habit of at least being patient and enjoy the process in a practical way? At least few things for the youngsters, that how can they balance these things in terms of having some level of patience for getting the result or achieving what they ever want to achieve?
I have been talking to people at large at different nooks and corners of the world, and I have been seeing that preaching and teaching people and guiding people by telling them methods and devices, do this, don't do this. These preachings have continued through the ages, but all have gone waste. So instead of giving them any advice, I want to offer them practical solutions, number one. And the most powerful practical solution, I will tell you, the diseases are many, the diseases are innumerable, but the solution is only one. And that solution is only three things for the 21st century man. At least half an hour exercise, at least half an hour of breathing exercise or pranayam, at least half an hour of meditation. If it is not, if all these three things are not made part of our life and living, if these are not made as part of life and living of our children, of youth, and of all the people of the world, the humanity cannot be saved. A powerful campaign must be launched all over the world for all these three things.
Great practical advice.
All these three things, if children are not doing it, if husband and wife are not doing it, if the youth are not doing it, they should not take their meals that day. At least 1.5 hours for your own self. Once you do it, you will be able to manage everything. I'm not teaching any complicated solution. But through these three things, if I ask, go straight into meditation, that is also impossible. Because so much of negativity, so much of rubbish has gone down deeper into our physiology, into our minds. We have to first ensure that it is thrown away only, then you can go into meditation. So at least half an hour of exercise and half an hour of breathing exercises will help you in cleansing yourself. Once you are cleansed, then meditation would be possible. Otherwise, it will not be possible. That is why I want to convey to the whole world that all these three dimensions, all these three things must be integrated into one. If the child is not exercising, if the child is not doing some breathing exercise, if the child is not meditating, he should not be allowed meal. ध्यान नहीं तो भोजन नहीं is a big campaign which I want to launch all over the world as early as possible.
Great.
And that is why I have, through this, I want to give a message to all the volunteers involved with Science Divine Meditation that first they should make it mandatory that they will start practicing all these three things, and then they will spread it all over the country and all over the world.
Sure. So, Guruji, I strongly believe in karmas, and I feel that this is rightly said, as you sow, so shall you reap. But these karmas are also applicable in social medias as well. Like nowadays, everybody's on the social media. So, what kind of karmas or what kind of thing that we also applies on social media as well?
First, you should understand what karma means. Karma simply means that everybody, wheresoever he is releasing some vibrations at the physical level. He is vibrating mentally also. And at the same time, he is vibrating emotionally also. These vibrations create impressions. anybody will come and sit by your side. His presence around you will leave certain impressions on you, positive or negative. So, whatever and wherever anyone may be, everybody is creating some impressions. And these impressions become intentions. And these intentions become karmas. So, whenever you are utilizing social media, you are simply communicating your vibrations of the physical, mental, and emotional levels. And those vibrations, through intentions, start taking expressions in this form or in that form. And that is what starts circulating through this social media. And then it is the real karma. There is no difference between the actions which you take elsewhere and the actions and impressions which you are leaving through the social media. So every moment you are using social media, you are creating karma, and it will have its consequences. It will have its consequences in all the dimensions of your life, as if you are doing it in the real world.
So basically, what you're saying is first, you know, the impression or a conscious mind creates something, and if it is very powerful, then get reflected in the form of actions
Yeah.
that become. So first
It
thing
is
is that
only your intention that
right,
gets expressed into action.
right,
And even if action has not taken place, the impressions create karma,
and negative energy at least
and
that.
negative energy is released. That is why it has been said by the enlightened masters, Manasa, Vacha, Karmada. At all the levels, you should be watchful. Otherwise, you will be creating karmas and you will be creating bondage for yourself. If you think something, that also becomes a karma. Your thoughts, your emotions, and your intentions, they all become karma. And they become more powerful karma than putting something into action without thinking. Putting something into action without thoughts, without emotions, and without intentions may not create a karma.
Yes, if but use
Despite the fact that some action has happened, but if it was not preceded by thoughts, emotions, and intentions, that karma may not have
okay. So intent is very important.
karmic impacts.
Guruji, what we have seen is at least with the passage of technology has evolved, AI and virtual reality, where we could see lot of things, imagination and everything with the help of technology.
Yeah.
How this spirituality can create a fine balance that this is not real. This is because from virtual reality we are able to visualize, we are able to get that kind of experience, but maybe that experience is temporary. But
Yeah.
how like we can draw a line that this is virtual and something which is coming from inside is the permanent source.
You see, imagination is the fundamental power of human intelligence. Once imagination is not there, you become an animal.
True.
I want to define humanity as a capability of imagination. And whatever the mind of man can conceive and imagine, and whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. This has also been proved by the medical science, psychology, and it had been long, long ago accepted and concluded by the enlightened masters of this earth. I have to tell you that all your imagination, whether it is an imagination of fantasy, it may be born out of even intoxication. You take a glass of alcohol and you start throwing yourself into a world of fantasies. It is something artificial which was created by a chemical which you put inside you yourself. But on the authenticity of my own experience, I can tell you that there is a point within yourself. If you can get in touch with that point, you can feel many times more joyful fantasies and ecstatic experiences without taking even a single drop of chemical. And that is why the enlightened masters of the past had been always talking of ecstasy. Meera was talking of ecstasy. Chaitanya was talking of ecstasy. Krishna was always in ecstasy 24 into 7. When his flute was on his lips, it was simply a dance of ecstasy that was happening in Vrindavan. So, that ecstasy, everybody is capable of experiencing within himself without any support of any outside chemicals, intoxicants, or any other thing created by the artificial intelligence or any sort of virtual experience coming through these machines.
Yes, so beautifully explained that first of all, we differentiate from animal that we have a power to think. Whatever imagination that we have, we could do that one. And whatever the external substances that we use, be it alcohol or even virtual reality, it's not even 1%, it's a temporary.
Yeah,
But once you are able to get that kind of consciousness within
absolutely.
yourself, then it's permanent
Yeah,
and it's way beyond than that.
absolutely right. Absolutely right.
So, Guruji, what we have also seen that, especially in tech or in corporate, we see that we sometimes we have to face failure, maybe as a part of startup or innovation or project. How we can build ourselves or make ourselves very strong that we shouldn't be that much affected once if someone has to face the failure because it was a discourse of the destiny or it was already there.
As I told you earlier, Rocky, there is only one medicine, and that is there are two very powerful statements made by Buddha. One is mind is misery, and another is by the mind you are bound, and by the mind you are freed. First of all, he said, mind is everything. You become what you think. You become what you think. So learn the art of using the mind. Because your mind is everything. It is going to make your whole life, or it is going to mar your whole life. So the first thing Buddha says, take care of your mind. Learn the art of utilizing your mind. That is why as the basic course of Science Divine, as part of the basic course of Science Divine, I have given the first fundamental maxim, and that is application of the science of mind power. Learn the art of using your mind power, and there is science as to how to use it. And that anybody can learn in detail from that basic course, the first fundamental maxim, science of mind power. And the second is, Buddha says, mind is misery. So learn the art of getting rid of mind also. And that is why, without getting rid of mind, you can never experience your being. You can never experience the great inner treasures which are lying hidden within you. And for that, as the second maxim of basic course I have given, learn the science of
Mind.
being in a state of no mind, and which anybody can learn through that basic course, in which I have given two powerful kriyas. One is Sanjivani Kriya for reaching the state of no mind, and another is inner cleansing technique through which you can pass through a state of catharsis and throwing away of all your rubbish, all your negativities, because without throwing away all your negativity and rubbish which has come down to you since the past lives, you cannot go deeper into your own being. So these two kriyas anybody can find in the basic course as a part of the second maxim, being in a state of no mind. And the third maxim and the final maxim, which is the part of the basic course, is the science of joyful living. I will tell you one of the fundamental mysteries of this life. The more and more you are happy, the more and more you will be attracting everything that you want in life. So everybody must learn the art of joyful living, and that is a science. And that is why in this basic course of Science Divine, I have included three fundamental maxims. The first is the science of mind power. The second is the science of being in a state of no mind. And the third is the science of joyful living. If one can master these three dimensions of life, one can achieve anything from material riches to enlightenment. And the basic problems which you have just narrated, that about success and failure, the whole life will become a joy. It will all become a play if you manage to understand and practice all these three maxims.
So basically, Guruji, so mind could be our best friend and mind could be our biggest enemy. It's up to us that how do we deal with mind.
Yeah,
Mind only can be controlled with spiritual practices,
yeah,
and there are three aspects as you mentioned, and there are three the way that you said, that the way you teach people for different aspect, but
yeah.
at least everybody can try that, how to stay happy, how to enjoy the path. So that is a basic thing that at least everybody could try. That will be the, I think,
But what I have found, that people have been trying to be happy, and they are trying to use those devices to be happy which are not going to offer happiness, but those
long run.
devices are also going to offer them unhappiness. So just as you said, people are trying to be looking for success so that they can be happy. But I
Yes.
want to tell you, first try to be happy, then success will automatically follow. Don't be mad after success. in
Okay.
search of happiness. First, learn the art of being happy, and success will start following you everywhere, wherever you may be. So that is why I have been recommending to people, to all the youngsters and everybody who wants inner fulfillment and success, extraordinary success in life, they should have a in-depth understanding of all these three fundamental maxims. In-depth understanding will itself bring about transformation. No practice is required. If you understand something, then you are not required to do anything. Things start happening on their own. If you understand that if I put my finger into fire, it will burn, then you will not have to make efforts not to put your finger into fire. It will automatically remain away from the fire.
So, Guruji, it like, time has literally slipped out of my palm. I couldn't see that, it was a great experience for me to go into that depth and try to understand the different aspects of things. So, in this, I know you are very busy, and in this short schedule, we were able to some aspects. But if users are having any question related to anything, they can post the questions on the comments. But it was an honor, and it was, I feel really blessed to had an interaction with you. I will definitely try to imbibe some of the practices, practical advice that you have given me. It will really help me in long run. I had a great time, and it's a memorable day for me. Thank you so much.
Me too loved being with you, Rocky. Thank you. Thank you so much.